Alright, it is time to do some WWE recapping, and I sound like death, I would assume.
I thought you were deaf.
I'm not death, I'm just dying. There's a difference.
He's
I
deafing.
I have a really bad chest cold, so you're going to be hearing a lot of Byron talk. And
I'm not going to talk that much.
It's up to you to discern whether that's a good thing or not.
Hey kids! Well, come on down to the whatchamacallit with the thing and stuff.
Alright, so we're going to go over WWE Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT. Let's start off with the Raw. We get open with John Cena doing a Christmas bit. You have anything you want to go through on this one?
Oh, not really. It was John Cena being his typical awesome John Cena self, and then Elias Femphin Bebe came down and interrupted shit. They did some interaction. It was interactiful, and it was pretty good. It was actually the best thing Elias has ever fucking done. And then they had the worst match I've ever seen John Cena have.
I've seen worse matches, but it was pretty damn bad.
The guy has no... I don't know what it is, other than the fact that they never let him actually wrestle matches. So Elias had zero sense of timing, zero flow, no... There was no... It was completely disjointed, and every move was only half done or like partially engaged with, and it was confusing to watch.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the match. Also, the fact that Cena just goes over Elias means doesn't even really do anything, which is
No, not really.
not really a thing I'm behind.
But I mean, I'd rather that happen than Elias getting a random mystery win for no reason.
That's a fair point. I thought when he did the beatdown early on to start the match and Cena's like out of it, I'm like, okay, he'll get a cheap win here, and then we can at least do like a program or something. I'm like, after that,
Cena's not gonna be around to do any of that stuff.
I meant like one more match by program. Yeah, this was not very good. I mean, the mic work was good, the acting was good, the match was god awful. Then we go to Kurt Angle backstage with Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. They both want Joe, and instead they're getting a title shot at the Bar.
Oh.
And then he reveals that Roman Reigns is getting Joe Intercontinental title match. This I thought was pretty well done. And I enjoy this version of Jason Jordan a bit more than the overly whiny version, so 2 thumbs up in that regard.
Yeah, but I can see that his, like, the second that anything starts going wrong, he's gonna revert to that, which I'm fine with. It's eventually going to turn into something else, which I'm hoping will be Kurt Angle versus Jason Jordan for a short program. But apparently everybody's pushing for everybody to have a match with Triple H at WrestleMania, including Kurt Angle.
I have no idea why that is even. Like, Kurt Angle I can get. You can get the nostalgia pop out of that. But who has ever been elevated by a match with Triple H at Mania?
Nobody ever.
The answer is nobody. Like, his matches at Mania are not great. They don't elevate anyone. And CM Punk was completely correct when he said he didn't want to work a match with Triple H at Mania. So I don't know why anyone would want to. Like, you can do the Angle thing, because, Angle doesn't need to be elevated. He's Kurt fucking Angle. You roll that out there, you let him have a good match, and that's really it. But please, not Jason Jordan versus Triple H.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Then we had basically Brian Kendrick versus Hideo Itami. A little bit of pre-match promo from Kendrick and Gentleman Jack. It was a GTS win for Itami. This match I had a lot more expectations for, and was kind of let down by it. And I did like that we're hammering home that the GTS is not CM Punk's move on commentary.
Correct. Also broke Brian Kendrick's orbital bone and nasal structure.
Yeah, so he paid with his face for what was not a very good match.
Correct.
Then we had Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel singing Miss carols for Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James. This was what it was. That's really it. And this opened us up for the 6 ladies tag match with the 3 aforementioned ones against Absolution. And I thought this was an adequately worked match. And it wound up breaking down until Bayley goes to the top rope, gets caught, and rampaged for the win. I was pretty okay with the match until I didn't really like the ending. personally.
Yeah, well, it's another one of those just throwaway matches that shouldn't have been even booked because they can't get any of it right.
Yeah. Then we had a Joe backstage promo where he doesn't regret injuring Dean and he will beat Roman Reigns. So standard Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Then we went to Kane versus Heath Slater, baby. So this is Rhino's plan to toughen up the one-man band, just to have him go in there with Kane. A little bit of offense for Slater, but he ends up getting chokeslammed and pinned for the 3, like you know is going to happen. Kane goes after Rhino as well, but Rhino fights him off, goes for a gore, and then gets chokeslammed himself. Not really sure what this is supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hopefully it ends up being a cool thing for the Heath Slater, but
I doubt it. Then we go to Kurt Hawkins versus Finn Balor, and I just have here in my notes. Do I really have to say anything?
No.
Like, Hawkins is funny with the whole, massive losing streak gimmick, basically. But, Finn Balor has now worked matches with Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel, and now Kurt Hawkins. So,
yep.
What the heck is the point of this?
The point is that Finn Balor is over no matter what Vince does or says about it.
Then we have Dallas and Axel singing to Goldust, and they give him a Santa's Little Helper DVD.
Correct.
Then we had a Bray Wyatt promo. Sister Abigail does not like Christmas. It reminds her of Matt Hardy. Hardy doesn't fight for the people, he just uses them. And Chicago, I'm here. And then this ends with him coming out and getting jumped by Hardy and sent scurrying. Well, there's delete chants and a lot of laughing. I was fine with it. I would like this storyline to step it up a little bit, but I'm not expecting it to.
Yeah, well, they may actually be doing something fucking correct and actually building a storyline, rather than throwing together something and then ending it 2 weeks later.
Oh yeah, I want this to be long, but it does feel like we've gotten a tad repetitive at this point.
Meh.
Let Matt Hardy do some different things, maybe, if you want to prolong this. That would be good. The Bar, not happy about defending their belts on Christmas. They appreciate each other, even if Kurt Angle doesn't. This was actually pretty funny for me. I enjoyed it. Sheamus got Cesaro a Dean Ambrose action figure missing an arm. And Cesaro got him a Seth Rollins one to break. And a Jason Jordan one. But he doesn't want the Jason Jordan one. Even Kurt Angle doesn't want the Jason Jordan one. And that's about it. I enjoyed this. It was good.
I like the fact that Cesaro never took his mouthpiece out the whole time.
He's not allowed to, apparently.
Never, ever, ever.
Then we had Enzo with his elves, Drew Gulak and Enzo and Arya Daivari. It was Sugar Plum Fairy and what was Daivari?
I don't remember.
And there's something in there. Anyways, Christmas puns. Michael Cole pun was actually pretty funny. And they're up against Tozawa, Ali, and Alexander. This was your Christmas street fight, and it was fine for what it was. Alexander gets the pin with the lumbar check on Daivari. Yeah,
I'm already sick of that move. Like, the guy hits about 9 lumbar checks per week. And I mean, yeah, it's great. Fine. It ends matches. It looks spectacular. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's a bit much at this point. Then we have a mistletoe deal with Enzo and Nia, which Alexa Bliss is the buzzkill. Comes to talk to Nia about the historic Women's Royal Rumble match.
Correct.
Then we had a Roman Reigns backstage promo. He's the champ. Doesn't care what Samoa Joe says. And tonight, he's dedicating this to Dean Ambrose, the injured Dean Ambrose. Basically, eye for an eye. I'm going to fuck up Joe because he fucked up Ambrose. Then we had Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. I kind of actually at one point thought Joe was going to win this when he had the choke applied.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they went to that spot a couple times, and I figured, well, they keep going to the well. Maybe they're going to do something right and put it on somebody that people enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match up until the end, because I thought the end was kind of dumb. Because in the end, Roman just gets himself DQ'd for pushing the ref, and then does a post-match beatdown. And I have here, ... how very face.
Incredibly face.
So, again, if Roman is a face, can we stop having him doing, like, really, really heel shit?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even, like, badass shit. Like, there's a difference between badass and heel. And, like, trying to kill Braun is the most excessive one. That was like, why is this your face? And here is kind of the same thing. He got himself DQ'd, and I don't know why this is supposed to make me care about Roman any more than I already do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we had a Seth and Jordan backstage thing. Seth preempts the speech about, getting over our differences and pulling it together, blah, blah, blah. Jordan is apparently very hyped about teaming with Seth Rollins, and Seth says he'll never be Dean Ambrose. Jordan says he will be better. So,
correct.
Planting the seeds for a number of different things you can do with that.
They should totally have Jason Jordan dye his hair red.
Mm.
And try and act crazy.
Then we had Axel and Dallas get wrecked by Braun Strowman, and I'm fine. Then we had a Bliss promo. She puts herself over for a little bit, and then Asuka comes out, and she is terrified of Asuka. She did a good job of communicating that. I have it here. There are really only two acceptable winners for the Rumble. And it's I will accept Nia Jax. I will accept Asuka. That is it. If it is anyone else, vomit.
It's gonna be Santino Marella.
I'm fully ready for it to be a man
with a beard, not even stubble, just a full on beard.
Full on beard. Anyways, Asuka lays her out with a kick, and we go to Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins' title shot against The Bar. Early on, Jason Jordan gets kind of taken out early in this, and Booker T is terrible on commentary in this whole thing.
He's terrible all night. He's just fucking bad. We
get a prolonged beatdown of Seth Rollins, but eventually we do get the hot tag. Rollins has to make the save later on, as Cesaro has Jordan in a submission hold. And then Rollins goes wild for a little bit, takes out Sheamus on the outside, and but Cesaro takes him out, and this leaves Jason Jordan one-on-one with Cesaro, and Jordan ends up pinning him with this kind of like cutter deal thing, which was kind of
neat. It was. I thought it was an angle slam, but it might have been. I really couldn't tell, and they didn't. I don't remember them.
It was more like a almost Death Valley driver into cutter deal, which was kind of
like maybe the Hercules cutter.
Possibly the Hercules cutter. But anyways, Jordan with the pin. And him and Seth Rollins are the unlikely Bedfellows tag team champions.
Wow, kinky.
Very kinky, very kinky. Then we go on to SmackDown. And we open up SmackDown with Daniel Bryan, because, we need to have an authority figure open up everything. Although this time it was actually, cognizant, because he's announcing a United States tournament. And I always love tournament matches, because I think, for whatever reason, creative is less involved in them, and it lets people actually do shit. Like, I remember the tournament that Eddie Guerrero won the title in, and I'm just like, whoa, these are all really good matches. What the hell happened? And it's like the writers just took the time off, I guess.
Well, I don't think they... obviously they're involved, but I think they may be more influenced by crowd reaction. So if they book somebody to win and they're actually like massively over, they might just book them to go further in the tournament.
I think it's just the matches themselves. I don't think necessarily the winners get changed, but I think the matches are just better, is all. And then the tag team division basically comes out, and we end up with a 3-way number one contenders match between the teams. And you know what? This worked, so I'm fine. Then we went right to the triple threat match for the title, and this was pretty good as well. And in the end, Benjables gets the win. So I'm happy to see Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin get a title shot. I'm happy that we're not going back to the New Day Usos feud again. Yeah. So that's a positive.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people going, "Oh man, that New Day Usos feud this year was really good," and I'm trying to figure out at what point it was ever good.
I thought the matches were pretty decent. The battle rap was not bad. But I don't need to see it again. Let's make some new stars here. And I don't really want Rusev as a tag team being pushed. I kind of like... I like the idea of him being a singles and Aiden English being like just his like manservant. That I think would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, right team went over in my opinion. Then we had the Breezango versus Bludgeon Brothers match in their rematch of the Clash of Champions. This wasn't really much of the same, much any different really.
No, but I was happy that it ended. The ending to the whole shenanigans was different, and they're actually advancing a storyline. And I also like the comedy bit backstage where they, the Legion of Demolition there promised that the Breezango wanted another shot at him again, and Breezango just were really not happy.
Indeed. Then we had Naomi versus Ruby Riott.
Wow, this was bad.
Whatever. This was whatever.
This was whatever to bad. Naomi's just bad. That's all there is to it. She drags everybody down, and I keep seeing Ruby Riott drag these people to a halfway decent match, and I know that she could have such a much better match with an actual female wrestler.
Yeah, I would largely agree with that. I've never been a big fan of Naomi. I understand why she got pushed. For a while there, she was really over with the crowd. I don't really think she is anymore, though.
I never saw her as being over. I didn't hear anybody cheer. Like, they cheered for her intro, and then immediately the crowd would always die.
I'm talking back when you weren't watching. She was over for a time, like legitimately over, and I don't think she is anymore. Like the entrance still gets cheered, and I don't even really get that. But yeah, there's no reason for Naomi to be kind of involved in any kind of main storyline with the women's division. Give her time to maybe turn into something, because she is quite athletic. There might be something there, but I don't think that there is right now. And then we have Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin. Which interesting that these two ended up facing each other in the opening round of the tournament. I was pretty sure we were going to a final between them.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, except for since Booby Roode beat him in this particular match, he obviously will interfere with Booby Roode's next match, so Booby Roode will not be winning the title, and then they'll have a feud that I'm not excited about, and then.
That's probably true. Then we had Jinder Mahal versus Ty Dillinger, which Jinder Mahal won.
Sadly,
I have mixed feelings about it, because if you push Jinder in the U.S. title scene, it means he's not getting back to the main event anytime soon.
That's good.
Which is a good thing. That being said, the continual waste of Ty Dillinger, also no Sami Zayn, no Kevin Owens in this tournament as well,
not yet,
is a little disappointing.
Well, have they announced anybody else for the tournament?
I don't think so, but it was
supposed to be like a 15 or 16 man tournament, isn't it?
Well, it wouldn't be 15. That's an odd number.
That's why I thought that was really weird, because I'm pretty sure somebody said 15 man tournament, and I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't recall that, but it's quite possible. Hopefully, it's more than just this.
Yeah.
Then we have a non-title match: AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. And this was pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as it could be, because they don't let you wrestle in their wrestling promotion. ?
I also, every time I see these two in the ring together, I just remember the first time I ever saw Kevin Owens do something, and it was in PWG, and AJ Styles is cutting a promo, being a heel at the time. And he walks away, and Kevin Owens comes in the shot and goes, "See, listen to AJ. AJ's right. AJ's my friend." And then you just hear from off screen, AJ go, "Shut up, faggot."
He does that a lot.
Does that a lot, yeah, a lot.
That's a good Christian boy there.
I know, he does it to Chris Sabin a lot when they were working a program in PWG. It was just always, "Sabin's a faggot."
That's a bit odd.
It's a little bit odd, but it did make me laugh, so,
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, Owens gets the win. So things kind of looking up for the heels, continuing on at this point. So, shall we move on to 205 Live, or do we have anything else to say about the main show?
Gross. No, not really. There was just not too much stood out at all. I was really happy to see Ty Dillinger out there. He did really good work in the ring. I was pleased by this, and everything else was pretty much forgettable.
So 205 Live, we open up with Alexander trying to sell Drew Gulak on what 205 Live would be like without Enzo as champion. And how it could possibly be better for Mr. Gulak.
You know, for a guy who said he wasn't going to do any talking, you're doing all the talking.
I'm sure. Okay, take over.
Well, I'm saying I got notes for some of this stuff, and then
go.
Jeez, man, jeez, such a glory hog. Next thing you know, you're going to be putting on leopard stuff and calling yourself the real one and stuff.
I'll already do that.
There, fair enough. Oh, you got the leopard print thong I sent you, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, so like what you said, cool, awesome. I enjoyed the fact that he turned Gulak's catchline phrase thing around on him about building a better 205 Live. And then they announced that we're going to have Tostizawa versus Tony the Nice One tonight. Cool. I'm intrigued about that particular matchup. And then they said Ali and Cedric are going to be against Gulak and Daivari. Why? This is the third...
Because we haven't had enough of this match.
Well, this is the third week in a row. I'm pretty sure it's third week in a row that Cedric has had to fight other people that aren't Enzo Amore, but they're Enzo stooges because reasons. And he's guaranteed a title shot. So are they trying to make us believe that he's struggling because he's got a guaranteed title shot? He could literally just say, no, fuck you. I'll just wait for my title shot. Or are we supposed to...
Just take the fucking count out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, match time. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Or, like, DQ himself, or, I don't know, something. He'd literally come down to the ring every week and beat the shit out of everybody with a kendo stick and get DQ'd and go, oh, that's a good match we had there. Fucking dipshits. So, if they're trying to tell us that he's struggling, we're not
They did the same thing with Austin Aries, only it was actually dumber, because Aries was, of course, injured at the time. Kayfabe, and in real life, actually, although he was selling a different injury.
Exactly.
And, yeah, that kind of... It destroys the realism, really. Like, why are these matches happening? Why are you risking your number one contender and theoretical meal ticket getting hurt before the title match? What the hell?
Yep. And it's really boring, too, because we've already seen this match 1,000 times. And then we kick into our main event of the evening, Mr. Hideous Tatami versus Gentleman Jack the Ripper. And this was a very nice, stiff exchange of all of the stiffness. They have an actual, real reason to not like each other because of Hideo broke Kendrick's orbital bone, so he's going to be on the shelf for like a couple of months. Which means more mic time for Gentleman Jack, which is good.
I'm good with that.
Exactly. And then we also have, we've got motivation and good times. And it lived up to that. And about 3/4 of the way through, I think they started up a USA chant because they're fucking idiots in America, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm still not sure why he keeps screaming, respect me.
I was going to say, I didn't really care for that. He's taken his heel NXT gimmick and turned it into a face gimmick on the main roster. And
yeah, but is he supposed to be a face?
I think nominally he's supposed to be the face in this particular exchange, if nothing else.
He didn't do that,
and
though.
they're hyping him as a face.
Yeah, also no GTS for the finish, so I'm wondering if he got in trouble or if people are telling him he's not allowed to use that move anymore or what the fuck.
Potentially.
Yeah. And then they
had with the Rings of Saturn instead.
Yeah, like a leg in Rings of Saturn as well. We had your boy Anthony Nice interviewed. He's undecided, apparently, about whether or not he's involved with the Zo Train, which is fucking stupid. Made some valid points, but it makes him look like a complete bitch.
What valid point did he make?
Well, I mean, it's clear that since What's-His-Nuts has shown up on 205 Live, things have improved. Like, there's way more attention on 205 Live now.
I get that, but like his specific reasons for being on the Zo train were what exactly?
To continually achieve fame and fortune, I guess.
But he just loses.
Also true.
Like it's not like it's been good for Enzo, and to nominally I suppose Gulak as well, but it's not been good for Daivari or for Nice. They just lose.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying, like, be it by association, kayfabe by association, he should be making more money because he's hanging with the champ and all that good stuff. But, you know, it still makes him look like a total fucking bitch boy. So, I'm gonna hang around so I can be famous too. Fuck off. And then your boy Toastyzawa showed up and kind of gave him a little poke the bear action, to which Tony Nice replied with a face punch. I enjoyed the face punch.
Falcon Punch.
Pretty much. Then they had a match. The match was good. I don't really have any notes for the match. It was just a good match.
I like that Nice is a little bit more intense with his matches now.
Yeah.
So that's good.
He got the win with they're calling it the running Nice. Just no. We're gonna cross that out. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. We'll talk about your failings later. Fuck. And then we had your boy Ali and Cedric versus Daivari and Gulak, as previously mentioned, and my note says, still no idea why this match is happening. Although I did enjoy the choo-choo hand slaps that they're doing at the beginning there. That was awesome. They did the little dueling PowerPoint presentation. But I didn't get my little magical yes from Nigel McGuinness at the end, so I was sad.
No, we did not.
Sad. And then Cedric's music came in, and Cedric's music fucking sucks. Again, still, some more. It's just, oh man, it just sucks all the life out of the room when that thing. Dude, anything, just not that. They do their own little promo. They try and get Ali over because he's from Chicago. They're in Chicago, and it fails to get him over.
You know what? The crowd was more into this than they'd been into anything on the night. So
it's true.
I think it worked. It's just that the crowd was so unenthused about everything that this was as enthused as they were getting.
Yeah, I did enjoy the Zo Train Forever from Daivari. He just kept saying, "No, Zo Train Forever." This was your standard match that these four guys have had for the last year and a half, I think. These guys, these four guys have wrestled each other in various iterations together. I think they might have actually had this tag team match enough times that both guys, or like all four guys, have teamed with all the other guys against all of these guys. I'm pretty sure. The only two notes I got about the match is that it's Alexander hit a sick double missile drop kick perfectly. Like, everything about that was perfect. There was a sick springboard flatliner, which he's been doing in the last little while. The rest of it was just kind of an match. That's the standard shit that these four guys always do, because they make them wrestle each other all the time.
Yeah. And no Lindsay Dorado.
No Lindsay Dorado, no Grand Metalik, no Ho Ho Loon, no...
Well, Loon's apparently not in contract.
I know. No Hideo Itami.
No random dude who's in the opening credits that I swear I've never seen wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And, the ending comes with Daivari going to the top rope. Gulak's like, no fly zone, no fly zone. Gets lumbar checked, and then Daivari Ali hits the 054 to get the win for his team.
Yeah, and so the hometown guy hits the big finish, gets the big win in his hometown, and the crowd kind of goes, yeah, all right.
Again, it was probably the loudest reaction of the night.
Yeah. Which takes us on to the next XT, which was not very good.
I like some of it.
I like the final match. But we started out with the Street Hookers that went up against Jobbers, so guaranteed win there. One guy was named Riley Apex. I have not looked this guy up, but that's an awesome name, and he had a great look. So yep. I'm hoping that Riley Apex makes more appearances.
What was the other guy's name? It was like Riley Apex, and then there was something kind of like similar.
Lone Star, or Dave Star, or Bob Star, or something.
Star, right.
Yeah, and I appreciated the fact that Nigel just kept ripping on him and calling him various JBL gimmicks. What he called NWO Bradshaw, he called him at one point.
Called him JBL at one point. That was pretty funny. I think he called him Hawk Bradshaw at one point.
I think so, yeah. But so that was literally the best part of this match. You had the Street Hookers playing patty cake. You had a guy stirring a bowl for 99% of the match. They did moves that literally every wrestler that has had a week's training can do. And there's nothing really about these guys that are any good.
The no-look leapfrog is kind of cool.
It's very choreographed.
It's very choreographed, but there are people who probably have been training for a little bit that could not do it.
Wow. As long as you can jump that high, you can do that thing. And you just need to tell the guy, okay, hit this and run at this speed. It's not impressive. Not impressed. And then they got Mike. They went up into the crowd and they start talking shit about other actual real tag teams. And it's fucking cringeworthy. These guys are bad. The skinny one had a giant chunk of staff on his neck. Thank you, HD Photography.
I did note that one, yeah.
And then their big finishing line is, "We here." Fuck off. Did Bray Wyatt sell you that? Can you get the money back? Yeah. Fucking idiots.
Can Jesus. You get your money back? It's more the case.
Yeah. The answer is no, because Bray Wyatt will then steal your soul. And we had just a shitload of promos and whatnot. And then we had Moon versus Super Trash. And this was...
No. Sonya Deville's not that bad.
Well, she's not very good either. I have my opening note here says, this is going to be Elias Cena all over again, except someone might get really fucking hurt.
I actually didn't mind the match, but that may... we've talked about this before. Like, I may just have incredibly low expectations.
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
I don't have a lot of faith in Ember Moon to lead a match, and I don't really have a lot of faith in Sonya Deville to have a good match without someone to lead her. So, it's better than I expected, to put it that way.
Yeah. Well, it started out super-de-duper-de awkward. There was no chemistry or flow between these two. Every time one of them threw a strike, up until about the last half of the match, and I'm going to use the air quotes, strike, was poorly timed, mismanaged, misdirected, and had no impact because neither one of them sold it. Somebody said that Moon has got 10 years of experience. And I just want to know if she's had some major head injuries or something and forgotten 90% of it, because anybody with 10 years experience should be doing way better than this.
Let's investigate if this is actually true. Continue to talk.
Fair enough. I will continue running down these people. This was just a shitty match. It wasn't even a match. It was two people that were told... Shit.
She has been in the business since 2007.
Oh boy. She needs like 20 years more training, I guess. Because this, like I said, this match was not a match. This was a series of isolated, scheduled moves that were done every 25 seconds on average. I'm pretty sure if you used a stopwatch, you could go back and you could time this out. It would be pretty close. Every 25 seconds, somebody did a move. They would split apart. One would go over to one side, and then, like, I swear, look at a watch or something. Go, okay, now it's time. And then they would charge over, and then a move would take place. So it was really, really not any good. And then you got Ember Moon with the Eclipse, which was poorly executed. But I'm putting most of that on Super Trash Deville for not being in the right place, which she usually is not. And then the Pirato Princess came out, and there was some shenanigans, and she made it very clear that she wanted a shot at the title. And then some bronzed gremlin came out, snarling and strangling, and Shayna Baszler had on like a leather coat with a shitload of studs, which...
That is her look right now.
It's not... Okay, take the studs off, though, because it makes you look like you're supposed to be in a hair metal band, but I know that you're trying to make me believe that you're badass. So, pick one. Are you a hair metaler, or are you Motorhead? Pick one. You've got the Queen of Spades thing going on. I'd probably go with Motorhead. Your boy with the nose likes Motorhead. You go that way. You get over it.
Yeah, I would largely agree with that statement.
And as she is a trained professional mixed martial artist, I was not sold on the choke. So that's bad.
I thought it was okay. It should be better.
Yeah, well, on top of that, she knew that she had all those fucking dumbass studs on her sleeve. So if she actually put it on correctly, she was actually going to probably, if not cut Kairi Sane's face open, probably at the very worst, extreme discomfort.
Yeah,
probably
which is another point against the spikes. And
yeah,
studs.
and if you're gonna wear a leather fucking jacket, do a gi choke, because that would be fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, do the Ezekiel choke or something.
Yeah. Then we had.
I will say that the entire premise of this match was stupid because you have Sonya Deville. She's on the main roster. Why is she getting an NXT title shot? Because we established that Asuka couldn't take the belt with her. So why would Deville be allowed to take the belt with her?
Yeah, and I think Nigel said something about, she's a big star on the main roster now, and it's something about her being a big star on Raw, or is it SmackDown?
She is on Raw.
Okay, so she's like a big star on Raw, and now she's trying to bring that success to NXT, I think is almost a direct quote. To which I respond,
why?
What fucking logic are you trying to impart to me here, because I don't get it. Yeah, so then we moved on to an Ellering promo, which is whatever. I'm kind of not sold.
I would like to recommend, if people have not listened to it, there's a podcast with Colt Cabana called The Book of Pain, where Colt Cabana reads a book supposedly written by the authors of Pain, and it's a poetry book, and it is fucking hilarious.
That does sound funny.
It is hilarious. It's like our dad, Mr. Ellering, called me Hawk, and I cried.
That sounds awesome.
Does he know us? Does he know us?
After the AOP promo, we had more from Moon Moon, and it was lame, and she's still not very good on interviews with 10 years experience.
In fairness, it's probably it's considerably less than 10 years in terms of promo work, because
whatever.
At a lot of independent shows, the ladies don't get any mic time whatsoever.
Fair enough. Try talking to yourself in the mirror. It's something.
No,
anything.
She is not very good on the mic, and it doesn't fit her character. Like she's
supposed to be mysterious.
She's it's too direct a comparison for it to really work, but like she's the female Undertaker to a large extent. Yeah, she should not really be on the mic.
No, and if she is on the mic, she should say something ominous and then fuck off. I don't know. I don't understand it at all. And then we went on to the main event of the evening after some more promo stuff of Lars Sullivan, Johnny Ace, no, Johnny Nitro, no, Johnny Wrestling, that's who it is. Johnny Impact, and then Aleister Black and El Grande Demo. Holy fuck, this was a goddamn great-ass match.
This is a really good match, yeah.
This erases all of the fuckboy and the retardo match shit before. This was fantastic.
This is very good. My first note was Aleister Black is actually a fair bit bigger than I thought he was.
I think he's pretty tall. So he's not as tall as Sullivan, but he's taller than Damo, I believe.
Well, Damo's not especially tall. He's just big.
He's a big fat man.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't have any actual notes for this match because I was just watching it and enjoying the shit out of it.
I was watching it, but I was also taking notes and enjoying it. I'm capable of both.
Aren't you the multi-talented son of a bitch?
Early on, we get the big man out of there by Sullivan doing a bunch of like dive catches. His catch of Black's moonsault was not the greatest.
Yeah,
but it's okay. He's green. Didn't look like anyone got hurt, so we're okay. And he face plants him on the apron. He catches Gargano and does the same thing, and then Big Damo smashes him with a plancha. And then we get to a power bomb through the table spot with Gargano up on Sullivan's shoulders, but he grabs onto the scaffolding and saves himself. By the way, Nigel McGuinness selling the table spot like a champ. He's like yelling, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" I'm like, that is how an announcer's supposed to do it. And half the time on SmackDown and Raw, the announcers just don't really react to it at all. So props to Nigel there. Gargano, again, he escapes with the scaffolding, but Aleister Black lends a hand, or in this case, a knee. And then Big Damo comes up a tad short on his splash, but he does put Sullivan through the table.
He fucked his own elbow up something fierce. I think all the skin came off that.
Yes, he did. Although I think some of the skin was already off it when he went for the dive, so I wonder if something else happened earlier.
That could very well be, but he definitely, when the table collapsed, it didn't break. It just kind of came apart, and one of the edges stuck straight up, and his elbow went right across that edge. It was nasty, and there were blood everywhere. Mm-hmm. There were blood on the large Sullivan. There were blood on the table. There were blood all up in. It wasn't really that bloody, but like it seemed to get everywhere.
It did indeed. So this got rid of the two big men / the two lesser workers to allow Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano to do shit for a bit. And I just have written here, this shit makes me hard.
Indeed.
Gargano gets the Gargano escape, but Killian Dane is there to make the save. Dane gets to go wild for a bit. And to be honest, there are a few guys in NXT who are better than Killian Dane at just the kind of the rampage spot. The I'm going to do stuff and it's destructive.
Yeah.
So that's what he's really good. The two smaller guys powerbomb Damo or Killian Dane, depending on how you know him better as. And then we get a big of a B spot with Lars Sullivan doing, shit that is really easy for him to do because he's like twice the size of two guys in the match. But Dane breaks up the pin on Gargano, and then we got the big guys going at it. Not bad. Aleister Black runs pretty wild for a little bit, hits the Black Mass, but the Era comes down to stop him from getting the pin. Gargano takes out Adam Cole, baby, saving Aleister Black. But he also tries to roll Black into the ring to pin him. He does manage to dodge Lars Sullivan, who destroys himself into the ring steps. Big Damo, aka Killian Dane, comes in, grabs him, gets him up in a powerbomb position, and Gargano escapes with a Hurricane Rana, and then hits a slingshot DDT for the 3 count on Aleister Black.
It was awesome. I popped huge.
I did as well. Gargano's insanely over. He's probably, if I'm being honest, not the guy I would have had win. I probably would have had Black win, but this was very well done. This was a fantastic 4-way.
Since we know that already seeing Lamas is the transitional champion, and they will probably put the belt on the winner of this tournament, probably, ? The one way they can do this and prolong already seeing Lama's title run is that I'm assuming we're going to have the reemergence of the Psycho Killer. So, at some point during the match, I'm assuming that Psycho Killer will reemerge and then do something horrible to Johnny Gargamel, and then there will be a fracas. And then your boy, the Mexican Sensation, can hold on to the title for no reason.
That's true. I had not really thought of that. So
also, it was Riley Apex and Chris Star, Kris.
Okay. So the Chris King spelling of Chris.
Excellent. Yeah, I can't find any actual information on a Riley Apex.
I'm assuming that's not really the name he uses in most of his other work.
Well, you'd think that it would be linked to something, though. You'd be like, oh, Riley Apex, a.k.a. this other dude here.
Or, well, he could be completely a green prospect that they just literally taken in the Performance Center.
That is very possible.
And if so, he actually did not a bad job.
No, he does, like I said, great look, great I don't think he did much in the ring, but he wasn't really allowed to do that, so whatever.
Oh, he's out there to do the job to the Street Profits. I mean, we were never going to learn anything about him. So that was the week of NXT and WWE. Any news we want to go over?
Not that I'm really totally aware of.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow news week. Not really anything to talk about.
We already touched on Kendrick being out. He's probably going to be out for at least a couple months.
I think the call is April.
Could be. They might have him just show up and do stuff, but I don't think you could fly with your face in that condition, can you?
No, Josh Koscheck could not back in the day when his arm bone got destroyed by one GSP.
Left jab. So I don't think unless they're at a specific place where he is, then I don't believe he'll be on TV, but they could certainly try and use him in that kind of fashion. But yeah, other than that, no, I don't, still no real word on the whole Rich Swann situation. There's been more rumblings about top stars from the Impact going to the Wobbly Wobbly Bee, but nothing confirmed, obviously, because they're still under contract. But
I think Bobby Lashley is the more recent rumor.
Yeah, Lashley and EC3. So I wonder if they'll make him go back to Derek Bateman for no reason.
I'm fine with it, as long as they also bring back the Derek Bateman character. That was fucking hilarious.
That would, you know what? Fantasy booking time. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So we've got the Zayn and Owens thing going on, and they're obviously teasing the Daniel Bryan heel turn, which shouldn't, like I said last week, shouldn't be a heel turn. It should be like an anti-face thing, where they're very much like a Stone Cold-esque faction, where people are they're mean and angry people, but you kind of just like them. So they should do that, and then your boy Derek Bateman, they get it. They do some stuff and some shenanigans. They get backed into a corner, and then they probably have some sort of match set up for Elimination Chamber ? What's the next?
No, the next pay-per-view is Rumble, but after that...
Well, no, I mean, the next... I'm not sure when his contract is up. Maybe you can stretch it out to Mania. Who knows? That would be a good debut. But say they get backed into a corner, and it's like a loser leave town type situation again, because they're real good at recycling storylines. And then your boy Derek Bateman shows up to help his old mentor. And then the great state of Oklahoma rise again.
No, great city of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, my bad. Chicks and America.
Your pro first saw you. What did he think you would do? Or what did he think about you? Well, I think it was the great city of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So what does
your bro think you can improve on? Well, my two favorite things are chicks and America. So we're gonna go with that. And of course, the third one was, what would you be doing if you weren't a wrestler? I think I'd be the next Steve Blackman.
So that's my fantasy booking warfare. Hopefully that will come to life, because that would be the best.
And it has to happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Indeed.
I'd be fine with that. It'd be hilarious. It's not something WWE will do, because they don't.
No.
They don't have long memories. They expect their fans to forget everything.
Well, I mean, it's totally... They're not wrong, because I forget almost everything they ever do. It's that...
Yeah, but if
you don't do anything memorable...
It's when they... The thing is, I forget what they do. If you were to ask me what was the storyline for insert wrestler in 2015, I wouldn't necessarily remember. But the thing is when they go through something, you get that odd sensation in your head where you're like, this goes against something that happened before.
Yeah. There's one thing we could talk about, and that's Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Do we have anything new? Because we did run down the card before. Is there any new matches?
I don't know. I'm just checking there was one. I think the only thing they hadn't fully announced was the Rumble, but they never really do.
There's always some surprises in that.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's going to show up. I wonder if they'll have badass Billy Gunn again. I think there's still just the standard stuff we talked about last week, and we kind of quickly predicted what should or should not happen on there. I'm just kind of very excited for Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Always excited for Wrestle Kingdom, so that's always a win.
It's going to be this Thursday, so probably this coming Friday, after your chest has been removed and replaced with a bionic one or something. We will
Titanium.
probably... Indeed, you will be the new War Machine. One-man War Machine.
One-man War Machine.
And then we will have some drinks and probably watch the Wrestle Kingdom on Friday, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So that sounds all good.
Unless you got plans or something.
I do not have plans as it stands.
Excellent. We'll call it a date.
Sure. Completely heterosexual date.
Yep, we'll just roofie each other by sticking to the New Japan drinking rules.
That's more than a roofie at that point.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this week in the wrestling world. Hope everyone enjoyed, and just as usual, get off of Byron's lawn.
Piss off.